Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to go over solving trigonometric equations using factoring or substitution. In this case I'm solving the equation 2 sine squared of theta minus 3 sine of theta plus 1 equals 0 over the interval 0 to 2 pi. What's important about problems like these is that I have, first of all these same trig functions. So in this case everything is sine. And that's important. It becomes very difficult to solve it without that parameter in place. While it is possible, it's much easier when you have the same ones. So for a problem like this, when I have sine squared and sine to the first power, it helps to look at it as a quadratic equation. Meaning that I'll think of sine of theta as we'll call it x. And I'll make a substitution. So this becomes 2x squared minus 3x plus 1 equals 0. So essentially I can solve this by quadratic formula, completing the square, or factoring. And usually factoring is what we want to try to do first, because it makes it go a lot smoother. This becomes 2x minus 1 and x minus 1 when I factor. Which means when I set each of these equal to 0, it's essentially saying, when I substitute back in, that I have 2 sine of theta minus 1 equals 0, and when I solve, by adding 1, and then dividing by 2, I'll have sine of theta is equal to 1/2. And likewise, I'll have sine of theta minus 1 equals 0. When I add 1 to both sides, I'll have sine of theta equals 1. For these two solutions now, I want to figure out what values for theta, in terms of radians, will give me 1/2 and 1. Now for 1/2, first of all I should say, since sine is positive in both cases, we're looking at quadrants 1 and quadrants 2. Now you think, when does sine equal 1/2? So I'll refer to my two triangles, my 30, 60, 90, or my 45, 45 right. And in this case, to get 1 over 2, I'm going to refer to my 30, 60, 90 triangle. And using sine, I can see that sine of 30 degrees will give me 1 over 2. So, that becomes pi over 6, and in quadrant 2, using the reference angle of pi over 6, I have 5 pi over 6 as the other solution. And since I'm staying within 0 to 2 pi, I don't need to go any further than that. Now my other solution, sine is equal to 1, neither of my two triangles give me that. So what I'm going to do is refer to my unit circle. And recall that for ordered pairs, when we reference the unit circle, x values are represented by cosine, y values are represented by sine, or associated with. So, looking around the circle, if each of these is cosine, sine, I want to find the one where I have sine is equal to a positive 1, and that's going to be up here. This is 90 degrees, or in this case, pi over 2. So that's how I found the angle measure for sine equals 1. Combine both of these answers, so the solutions for sine is equal to 1/2 and 1, means all three of these, pi over 6, 5 pi over 6, and pi over 2, are solutions to my equation.